Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. Today's topic, quote, settlements, end quote, no more in Israel. And this is from November 2019. Scripture reference out of Jeremiah 33:7. I will restore Judah and Israel from captivity and will rebuild them as in former times. And so today, November 19, the United States has reversed policy in Israel regarding the term settlements, in quotes. The term settlements will no longer be used by the United States in reference to the lands of the West Bank in Israel. Now, the Jewish state has managed the West Bank since 1967. And this decision by the Trump administration reverses President Obama's support for UN Resolution 2334 in December 2016. The UN declared that Israeli, quote, settlements were illegal and resulted in a, quote, flagrant violation of international law and has no legal validity. So, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo made the following comments. After carefully studying all sides of the legal debate, this administration agrees with President Reagan. The establishment of Israeli civilian settlements in the West Bank is not per se inconsistent with international law. And again, that's Mike Pompeo, U.S. Secretary of State. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu weighed in on this historic decision. This decision is in conjunction with a recent Netanyahu campaign promise. And he stated if elected, the prime minister, he declared he would annex, quote, settlements in the West Bank for Israeli national security purposes. So, of course, now the United States and the Trump administration no longer will use the term settlements, and the settlements are not, quote, illegal per se, allegedly. And kind of clears the way, as far as Israel is concerned, to start building within that area of what would be Samaria and Judea. This would be just to the west of the Jordan River in the mountains up in that region. So I guess that'd be a little north and to the east and a little south and to the east of Jerusalem. And here's a quote from Prime Minister Netanyahu. The United States adopted an important policy that rights a historical wrong when the Trump administration clearly rejected the false claim that Israeli settlements in Judea and Samaria are inherently illegal under international law. This policy reflects a historical truth that the Jewish people are not foreign colonialists in Judea and Samaria. In fact, we are called Jews because we are the people of Judea. Master the obvious statement, but world hasn't quite seen it that way. You can click on this link to www.jpost.com. Israel News, West Bank settlements not illegal. U.S. decides in historic U.S. policy shift. Palestinian response was opposed to the Trump administration reversal. And this is from Palestinian presidential spokesman Nabil Abu Radana. And this quote contradicts totally with international law. And he says the Trump administration doesn't say it. They're not qualified or authorized to cancel the resolutions of international law and has no right to grant legality to any Israeli settlement. And again, that's from the Palestinian presidential spokesman. The EU disagrees with the U.S. policy reversal. And this is from the EU, European Union Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini. The EU calls on Israel to end all settlement activity in line with its obligations as an occupying power. So they don't agree with it. Here's a link from AlJazeera.com. Pompeo, Israel settlements inconsistent with international law. And then if you wanted to listen to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's comments, they're about 3 minutes in length. You can click on this link from YouTube and hear what he has to say about it. But the net result of it is effectively the Trump administration is recognizing Judea and Samaria as part of the land recognized as Israel per the Bible. And this was from earlier in September 2019. This was Prime Minister Netanyahu's campaign promise to annex the West Bank if elected. And so now he's intending on doing it. Now, granted, he's not been able to form a government, and it looks like as of today we're headed toward a third round of elections. Preliminary indications are that's going to take place sometime in March 2020, but for now he's still the prime minister. And this is pretty much the introduction as to how the Bible states, God states, that the land belongs to Israel. Joshua 1, verses 2 through 4, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, that'd be the Jordan River, you and all this people, into the land that I am giving to them, to the people of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you, just as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites to the great sea, that'd be the Mediterranean Sea, toward the going down of the sun shall be your territory. So from the Euphrates to the Mediterranean Sea, this is what God has granted them. And we're not even talking about the land east of the Jordan River right now, but that's what God's promising at some point. And here we said in November 2019, Amos 9:15, I will plant them on their land, and they shall never again be uprooted out of the land that I have given them. And they were placed in the land in 1947, 48. They became a nation again. And Amos says they're not going anywhere. That's what God told him. So, at any rate, it says what it says. Now, everybody can do what they want with it. I don't know what to tell them. So appreciate you guys following along. If you enjoy this stuff, please feel free to go over here. Click on this blue bar. There's also a blank bar down here. It's not showing up for whatever reason this evening. Type in your email address and you'll receive a post every time, or receive a email every time we put out a post. So news cycle seems to be picking up over in the Middle East. So who knows? Could do anywhere from 4 to 6 posts per week. Sometimes not that many. Sometimes it's a busy week. And this will be categorized under Trend Update, PaulthePoke, Pompeo, Palestine, Palestinian Authority, Palestinians, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, West Bank settlements, etc. So you could even go up here and type any of those keywords in here and search the website for topics that you're interested in. So appreciate you guys following along. Please feel free to check out PaulthePoke.com. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye.